Good evening, Solon! On their home field for the first time this season, presenting the 2022 Solon Marching Band! Tonight, the band begins their pregame festivities with our Friday night fanfare, the Solon Comet Fight Song, and our Spirit Song. Clap and sing along as the band brings their thunderous sound down the field.
Cut the music. Thank you.
In 1968, Steppenwolf gave us a roaring anthem of turbocharged rock and roll that would become the theme song for thrill seekers and bikers for generations. It's time to hop on your Harleys and get your motor running as the band brings the heavy metal thunder and the Starlets rock the house to Born to Be Wild. Please rise as the band pays homage to Solon High School by performing the Alma Mater, conducted tonight by band president Connor Grimm.
Ladies and gentlemen, head coach Brian Wisniewski and your Solon Comets. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome head coach Alex Nicholson and the Shaker Heights Red Raiders.
Please rise and help the band honor our great nation as they play our national anthem, featuring our senior trumpets and conducted by student teacher Emily Butts.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Solon High School Stewart Field. And tonight's Week 2 matchup between the Shaker Heights Red Raiders and the Solon Comets. Solon Education Television is broadcasting this presentation tonight. My name is Chuck Chokina. I'm happy to be with you. Sit back and relax and enjoy some high school football. The Shaker Heights Red Raiders come in under the direction of Alex Nicholson, having lost last week to Canton Glen Oak over there at Shaker Heights. They took one on the chin last week, 51-14. They're going to look to get off the snide here tonight at the corner of State Route 91 and Inwood Road. The Solon Comets come into this one also with a record of 0-1 under the direction of second-year head coach Brian Wisniewski. They dropped a game last week 14-13, a hard-fought contest down there in Hudson. They lost at the hands of the Hudson Explorers in what was a really tough ball game. What to look for here tonight? On the other side of the field, in white uniforms, red trim, and red helmets, the Shaker Heights Red Raiders have a very young football team. Just 2 seniors on defense, 2 starting seniors on offense. Whereas on the other side, the Solon Comets have 8 starting seniors and 9 that's on offense, and 9 starting seniors on defense. And in high school sports, ladies and gentlemen, that can be a big difference. One thing that is curious to see, I'll be curious to see, is if Charlie Bubonics, who's the starting quarterback and kind of the engine that makes them go, number 3, senior, 6'1", QB, and excellent passer, is going to start in this one. He had an injury last week, and he missed the game against Hudson. Harley Barman filled in very well for Charlie, but Charlie is the engine that makes him go, and there's rumors floating around the press box that he may come off the sideline. He's got his helmet on right now, and it'll be interesting to see if Charlie makes it a go here. So the Red Raiders about to kick off. It'll be number 11, Jackson Fowler, who's going to kick off to either E.J. Taylor, number 35, or number 2, that's going to be Joel Capasso, the speedster. So they kick it to Taylor. He takes it at the 5, and he's angling across midfield, and he gets out almost to the 30-yard line, where Solon will take over 1st and 10, and we've got a Shaker Heights Red Raider already down on the field.
We have an injury on the play.
I'm sure that Coach Nicholson, I did watch some of what the Red Raiders put on tape last week against Glen Oak, and they had a tough time tackling. With such a young ball club, it's difficult. Here's that replay again. E.J. Taylor, the starting running back for Solon, and there you can see the player that's down, number 47, Vernon Hills, the 3rd, just a sophomore. And good to see Vernon getting up off the turf and walking off, albeit gingerly, under his own power. So the Comets are going to come out in their spread offense, 1st and 10 at their own 28. I think what they want to do offensively here tonight is establish the run. Big offensive line, 4 seniors, 1 sophomore. And I think there's Charlie. Charlie has come out. So it'll be interesting to watch tonight. Charlie Bubonics, first time at the helm. He did not get to play last week due to an injury. And they run a fake motion to start with. And Charlie's got 3 wide outs, 1 H-back, and E.J. Taylor behind him. Takes the shotgun snap, dishes it out to Joel Capasso. And Capasso's going to get good yardage. We're going to call it 7. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. And the Comets are coming out quick. This is what Hudson did to him last week. Hudson ran a play every 8 seconds. Charlie hands off to E.J. Taylor outside right end, and he's got the first down. And lots of running room there. Simple reach play, and it's 1st and 10 for the Comets all the way out at their own 43. Bubonics in the shotgun again. Taylor's going to try to get wide. He gets a block from McQuaid, but there's a flag.
Taylor, the ball carrier, knocked out of bounds.
Junior receiver Brian McQuaid put a pretty good block on the DB there, but maybe held on a little too long. And he's going to get flagged 10 yards. So that's going to back the Comets up in 1st and 20. Very young Shaker Heights Red Raider defense. And as I mentioned earlier, they did not tackle well against Glen Oak. They look like a team that was inexperienced under the, can't say Friday night lights, because in Shaker they play in the Saturday afternoon sun. But here's that play again, and there's the hold. I think McQuaid thought he pancaked him, but the ref said otherwise. Again, Bubonics in the shotgun. We've got a false start called against Solon. It's going to back them up even further. It'll be 1st and 25. So interesting to see if this Comet offense can overcome this early difficult start. 3 wideouts, an H-back. E.J. Taylor behind Charlie Bubonics takes the shotgun snap, hands to Taylor, and no running room there. That would be number 24.
Brought down by Patterson.
Brian Patterson, a 5'8", 190-pound junior. Again, Comets come straight to the line on 2nd and 25. 3 wideouts, McQuaid, Capasso are 2 of them. Bubonics play action, looking to throw. Throws it out for Capasso. He's got it, and he's out of bounds at about midfield. And there you get a sense we got another flag down.
He's knocked out of bounds by Rain James.
Illegal substitution
Flag on the play.
or illegal man downfield. Ineligible receiver downfield. And they sent that play in late, and sometimes the linemen don't get it, and they call the pass, and they were thinking run, and that's the result. Harley Barman is the other wide out in the rotation here early on for the Comets. Again, the 3 wide, the H-back. Charlie will roll right. Not much running room. Tries to throw back across his body, and he completes it. And Joel Capasso was looking to break it all the way across the field, but he's brought down there. And Charlie is showing just how much pocket presence he has. He's got pressure here, but keeps his wits about him, throws back across his body. That's not an easy throw when your momentum's going to the sideline. 4 wideouts now for Solon. I'll try to get that 4th one to you. That's number 14, Max Thompson, who steps in. Again, Taylor, is the lone running back. It's 3rd and 12 after a number of penalties. Charlie drops straight back. Under pressure, rolls out of it. Still looking to scramble, and he's sacked. And right now, this Shaker Heights defensive line is showing some quickness around the superior-sized Comet offensive line. Charlie did a great job of buying himself time there, but could not escape the grasp of number 4, Aiden Murray, a junior, a 5'10", 175-pounder. Barman is back in punt formation. Lets it go end over end. Trey McNutt had it hit him in the knee, fumbles the football, and the Comets come up with it. Bounced right into the hands, I think, of number 17. We'll see on the replay here. There's Trey McNutt. He's just a sophomore. No, it bounced into the hands of number 11, Owen Grossman. And McNutt is a feature player for this Red Raider team. That's why he's back returning punts. He's one of their receivers on offense. He goes both ways. He plays safety on defense, but just a sophomore, and that's a sophomore mistake. End over end kick. He just got too close to it. Ball hits him in the knee, and next thing you know, Comets have the ball. If Coach McQuaid were still in charge, we'd see a play-action pass here, but E.J. Taylor gets the ball, and he's got 13 yards up the gut, actually off left tackle.
E.J. Taylor, the ball
Coach
carrier.
Jim McQuaid was famous for after turnovers, he'd like to run play-action and catch the
Gain of
defense
13 on play.
napping.
First and 10 for the Comets. The ball is placed at the 28-yard
But you could see the hard running of number 35, E.J. Taylor, who's 5'10", 205, and he is a load. He's tough to bring down. He runs hard behind that large offensive line. And there he is, stopped. No gain. Too much penetration for Shaker. By Shaker, excuse me.
Taylor, he's met immediately by Aiden Diaz.
So my concern early on, it seems to me that the Shaker defense is using their quickness and athleticism to play games up front. The Comets are trying to come out with tight splits and run some power football and use play action. But there have been a couple of plays for loss, some negative plays that have resulted from Shaker. Now they do run a bit of an amoeba defense, if you will. They're putting bodies in all kind of places and letting kids play football without worrying too much about technique. There you see the penetration right away. The problem with that is when you run a lot of games and you got people stepping around blocks, you can get burned pretty quickly, and big plays can be the result of that. And this is a rather large offensive line. From left to right, Blake Hogler, senior, 6'3", 310. Number 73. Number 78 is senior Will Johnson, 6'3", 240. 77, senior Matt Charney, 6'3", 240. Bubonics takes the snap. Looking to throw. Capasso broke off his route. The ball was thrown deep. And the Shaker Red Raider, who was there to catch it, number 1, Kyle Waits, a junior, could have lost that one in the sun. Just came up short.
Third down 14 for the Comets.
Capasso broke off his route. Charlie threw it deep. Third and long, 3rd and 14 for Solon. They may very well be in 4-down territory, so they don't need to get everything here on 3rd down. 4 wideouts again. Thompson, McQuaid, Barman, Capasso, Charlie, pump fake. Going to try to run a screen out to Taylor. They're going to say that was a completed catch. E.J. Taylor got hit right. The football was knocked out, I think, number 2. He runs right into this. Good play by number 2, Brian Mitchell, just a sophomore, sticking his nose in there. They called it a catch and a fumble and a recovery by Solon, but it's a loss of about 5 or 6 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th and a lot. 4th and, we're going to call it 19. Well, the scoreboard has it at 4th and 14. That's not right. It's more than that. They're at the 38. They got to get to the 18, so about 4th and 20. Charlie's going to pooch punt it. And Shaker catches it, falls down. Number 22, Kai James, a junior, catches it, falls down, and Shaker will take over 1st and 10 at their own 13. So the Comets held the ball there for a while.
Shaker 13-yard line.
Got nothing to show for it. 4 minutes have passed, and Shaker Heights will come out. 1st and 10. Here's the pooch punt again. Risky play there. Again, the inexperience of Shaker showing a bit here early, and I think the longer that they are able to stay around with Solon, the more confidence they're going to gain. Number 7, Flynn Block, is at quarterback, and as I mentioned before, number 8, Trey McNutt, a sophomore. He's in the left slot formation, here on first down. He's the kid to watch for. He's got blazing speed. They run a counter play. They pull it out, and Block falls prey to the yard line and loses 3 yards. Good penetration there up front by the front four for the Comets. Again, an inexperienced Shaker Heights Red Raider football team, just 2 seniors on this offense. Short pass to number 11. That's Jackson Fowler, one of those seniors. He just delayed, he blocked, followed the receiver who cleared out. And nice short pass for Block. He completes it to the short side. 1st and 10, Red Raiders. Block is a senior, 5'10", 180. In the backfield next to him, he's got number 15, Cornell Beard, a sophomore. Block keeps, runs around right end. We've got a flag on the play. He takes a big hit. It's a hold. It's going to be called against the Red Raiders. It's going to set him back. Quite a contrast between this game and the early officiating I watched last week in the Solon Hudson game, where there were not a lot of flags early. But this is going to set the Red Raiders back in 1st and 20. Let's see if we can see the hold. There it is. Number 44 for Solon is, excuse me, folks, still getting used to my roster here. .44 is Jake Gert, and he was held by Fowler. Block takes the snap, hands to Beard, nothing doing. No running room there for the Red Raiders. Going to bring up 2nd and 18. Red Raiders like to use some down blocking, the old counter tray that you would have seen if you were a Washington Redskins fan about 1984. 3 linemen block down, 2 pull around. We've got offsides called against the Solon defense. Not really a heady play there. Defensive coordinator Ed Bubonic's not happy about that. You've got the opponent backed up. You don't need to do them any favors. Watch the football. 3 wide, 1 tight end. Beard in the backfield with Block. He takes the snap, he rolls left. He's got room to run. He'll try to use it. He will get back to the original line of scrimmage, out at the 23. And it'll be 3rd and 10, Red Raiders. Probably more of a run. They do like to run Block. He's not the best passer. The Red Raiders lost their 4-year starter at quarterback last year to graduation. So Block fills in as a senior. He's got 3 wide. He's got a slot back left with Beard in the backfield with him. Takes the direct snap, looking to run. He's going to get some yardage, but he's not going to get the first. And it's decision time for the Red Raiders. Here we are in the first quarter. He's got a football team that last week lost 51-14, but they're in this game. And not a time to set his defense back. So he's running out the punt unit. Joel Capasso, the speedster for Solon, is back. He's going to receive this punt. I believe it's number 11, Jackson Fowler, senior. We have an illegal procedure being called against Shaker. The center came out. The ball was already spotted by the official. The center, the long snapper, came out and picked the football up, and thus the penalty. Fowler does not have a big leg. He's punting the line of scrimmage, 26-yard line. See if Capasso can make something out of what will likely be a returnable football, unless he angles it, with the speed of Capasso. It looks like the Comets are setting up a return here. Fowler lets it go. It's a line drive boot. Takes one hop. Capasso's got it. Makes a fake. Tries to cut back, and he's brought down. A good tackle there by number 21, Braylon Scott, a senior. So Comets pick back up on offense. Here's that play again. Capasso trying to make something happen. Just can't juke. Excuse me, that would be number 6, Rain James, a senior who made that tackle. So an inexperienced football team that are the Red Raiders, having lost last week, gotten beat at home 51-7 to Glen Oak, is looking for confidence. And they're finding it here early. Solon, 3 wide outs, H-back, bring Capasso in motion. Bubonics turns, hands to Taylor. Taylor up the gut, and he's going to pick up 5. And there you saw, if we see the replay on this, you're going to see off the right side of the Solon offensive line, a couple of blitzers come in right there, and they're running to the left. That's the chance you take when you're bringing the house. You make a couple people miss, and you've got a big play. And there, E.J. Taylor shows that not only does he have power, but he can make people miss, and he picks up a first down. And again, the Comets are going with, this time 5 wide. They dish it out to Capasso, and he's brought down immediately. A nice defensive play there by number 4, Aiden Murray. And this Red Raider defense is light years ahead of where they were last week in terms of their tackling. You can see them being very aggressive. There you can see Murray not hesitating to bring down Capasso. Comets just flanked everybody out there and tried to go with the quick screen. Again, 3 wide. H-back, I'm going to get you his name. That's 45, Dylan Cronenfeld, tight end and H-back. Charlie fakes, dishes it out to Capasso. He's got some running room. There's the speed we're talking about. Trey McNutt, the sophomore, forces him out of bounds. Good block out there by Harley Barman, but guess what? Laundry. Another hold being called. The offense is not backing up. Is it defensive holding? Personal foul being called against the Red Raiders.
Oh, personal foul. Against the defense, 15-yard penalty. Result's going to be a first down.
Personal foul is called against the Red Raiders. Can't see where. See if he got. Not sure if there was a face mask. The official made no indication, but they're adding 15 yards to the end of that run, and that's going to set up Solon inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Bubonics in shotgun again. He's got 2 tight ends in the game. They try to run that way, and the Red Raiders are playing aggressively, and E.J. Taylor's a bit slow to get up. He took a hit.
Taylor, the ball carrier. Brought down by Scott.
Number 80, Carson Kurzawa, came in there for one play with the double tight formation. He comes out. Harley Barman comes back in. Cronenfeld still the H-back. Barman and McQuaid are now flanked out left. Capasso by himself. Bubonics in the shotgun with Taylor. Brings Capasso in motion. We're going to have a flag and a false start. Growing pains, folks. This is just the second week of the season. Even though your starting quarterback is back out there and your leader Doesn't mean you're not going to go through those growing pains early in the year. You are, and this is where you get them ironed out in the independent games. So we got 4 wide outs. Bubonic's in the shotgun. And I don't know how that's not defense breaking the plane. Looked like they crossed the football there. So Bubonic's again in the shotgun, drops straight back, rolling to his left. He's going to keep it. He's going to get out of bounds. He's going to get 4 yards.
He runs out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Comets are certainly controlling the football. We have 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and they've certainly had the football for the majority of this quarter. Nothing to show for it, however. Again, 3 wideouts. Cronenfeld in the slot as tight end. Turns, fakes. Cronenfeld rolls out to the right. Bubonic's under pressure. Now just throws it away. Now they're going to talk about that one. That may very well be grounding. Charlie may have had some room out running to his right, but then he came back to his left. He had a Shaker Red Raider on either side. Let's see if the official's going to throw this. Yep. They're going to call grounding. And that's going to be a big penalty because it's way back where Charlie was trying to avoid that pressure. So it's going to set up 3rd and downtown Solon. They got to get inside the 4-yard line for a first. Line of scrimmage is going to be set at the 39. Now they're going to call, it's 4th down, it's loss of down. So they're going to set up in punt formation. Harley Barman will come on. Good news and bad news. Good news is the Comets are controlling the football on offense. Bad news is they can't seem to stop the negative plays and the penalties. Barman boots it high. It's taken by number 28 for the Red Raiders, who avoids a couple of tackles. Almost gets a face mask there. And I don't have number 28 on my program, so I can't call his name. Here's that play again. Comets overrunning the play there, but Red Raider offense comes back out.
22-yard line.
They've got 3 receivers here to the short side, 1 set out wide. Block in the shotgun. Fakes a cadence now. Give the defense the once over. He takes the snap. He hands to Beard. Beard is going to get face masked and brought down. That's going to be a personal foul. His head turned around. I believe that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. That's going to give the Red Raiders a first down. Take a look at that one again.
On the defense,
right there. So often when that defender reaches out and the finger gets in the face mask, there's nothing they can do because it just wraps around it and gets stuck. Again, 3 receivers to the short side, 1 to the wide for block. Comets in a 4-3 with 4 defensive backs. Block takes the shotgun snap, tries to run, and he's going to be brought down there by number 52, Donovan Jackson, a 6-foot, 240-pound senior.
Donovan Jackson, loss of 2 on play.
Good job there by the front 4 of staying in their lanes. I think the Comets know that block is more runner than passer, so they've got to have a disciplined front 4 to keep those running lanes from opening up. 2-by-2 receiver set for Shaker Heights. Cornell Beard in the backfield. They hand to Beard. He's going to try to get outside. Nothing doing. Great pursuit there. 44, 22, and 5. Shea Springer, Devad Bush, and Jake Garrett. Red Raiders are set back now in 3rd and 14. This is the down and distance. Solon wants to keep them in. And they've got to keep their eye on number 8, Trey McNutt. They've got to know where he's at all times, because they'll throw him a swing pass and just let him do the rest. Block takes the snap, throws it over the middle, behind Fowler. Good defense there by number 21, Brock Bowling, linebacker, and that's going to force Shaker to punt. Again, Joel Capasso will be deep.
Jackson Fowler is incomplete.
Just 8 seconds left here in the first quarter. We have no score from Stewart Field.
Broken up by Brock Bowling.
You're watching Solon Comet football on Solon Education Television. Jackson Fowler in punt formation for the Red Raiders. High snap over his head. He's going to try to get it off. He does. Knuckles it out past midfield. Joel Capasso is just going to watch it bounce. And the Red Raiders are going to be the beneficiaries of a great bounce. It's going to be a 35-yard punt. And that's going to end our first quarter. The score, Shaker Heights nothing and Solon nothing. We'll be right back. Back to action at Stewart Field. Charlie Bubonics takes the Solon offense out of the huddle and fakes a handoff to E.J. Taylor and hits Joel Capasso. Really good quick release there from Charlie. Maybe not as accurate a ball as he would like off the body of Capasso, who had to reach for it, but there you can see what a quick release can do for you. They bring a couple of linemen around, make it look like a run. Quick and on time. 3 wide receivers. 1 tight end. Turn, handoff to Taylor. He's going to try to bounce, and he's not going to get anything. He's back at the line of scrimmage. No gain there for E.J. Taylor. The Red Raiders are not afraid to bring linebackers off the edge. They're not afraid to put people into different spots where you can't, where you don't know where they're coming from. So a bit of an amoeba front, but you know that it can burn you. So here we go again. Charlie Bubonics rolls out under pressure, trying to run with it. Can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Brian Mitchell, number 2. 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, brings Charlie down. Again, lots of pressure off the edge there. That's a linebacker coming on the blitz. Number 10 for Shaker is Steven Henderson, a 6'2", 220-pound linebacker. I'd blitz him too at that size. The Red Raiders are in a nickel front, defensive back situation here. 3 down linemen. Looks like number 10 Henderson's going to come off the edge again. They're loading the line of scrimmage. Bubonics to throw with protection. Looks, fires too high for Barman. Got to get the nose of the football down on that throw. Once it sails, it's going to go high. Here it is again. Just got his elbows down just a touch. Elbow goes down. Point of the football goes up. Missed the throw. Harley Barman. Punt formation. Lets it fly. It's a high boot. It's short. Not sure if he initiated a fair catch or not. His hand went about halfway up, but they're going to give him the fair catch.
Fair catch is called for.
They're 28.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball's played
Who's
on
not in the program.
7-yard line.
Made the fair catch. So the Red Raiders begin this second quarter on offense from their own 27-yard line. Flynn Block, 5'10", 180-pound senior, brings him out of the huddle. He's got 3 wideouts. He hands to Cornell Beard, who runs hard over right end. He's got, we'll call it 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Cornell Beard, the ball carrier. He's brought down by
And the Raiders coming out with a little more exuberance and enthusiasm and getting right to the line of scrimmage. Again, Beard, same play. Right tackle, breaks it outside, has a first down. They're moving the chains. Whistle.
Cornell Beard again on the ball carrier.
Somebody's got to come off, maybe.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders. Balls on their own
Not sure why. If they lost their helmet, or the helmet. Yes, if the helmet comes off, they've got to sit for a play. Same formation. Wouldn't be surprised to see them run right again. Yepper, this time Comets are there. And after a missed tackle deep in the backfield, they're able to bring him down after a yard gain. Cornell Beard was the running back.
Beard, ball carrier.
He's a sophomore at 5'10", 190.
For the Red Raiders.
Second and 9. Direct snap. Nothing doing. 4 blue shirts waiting in the hole for number 15, Cornell Beard.
Cornell Beard, the ball carrier.
Good team defense there by the Comets. Sets the Red Raiders back. 3rd down and 10. Not the down and distance that this Red Raider offense wants to be in.
3rd down 10 for Shaker.
Solon brings some pressure and Block throws it short.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for Trey McNutt. It'll be 4th down 10 for the Raiders.
And it'll put the Red Raiders into a punt situation. It'll be Jackson Fowler to punt for Shaker Heights. It'll be Joel Capasso to receive.
Fowler into kick for Shaker.
And let's see if they, my guess is they're going to back out of this rush, try to get a return after what they saw on film. Again, high snap. Fowler has to boot it away. He does a good job of getting rid of it. Goodness gracious, they got to yell fire there. Not sure if they did a good enough job there. The returner needs to holler because that ball is kicked right into the middle of a bunch of blue shirts. And I don't think he's calling anything. That ball easily could have hit one of the Comets and been a turnover, just as we saw happen to Shaker Heights there. So better communication. The coaching staff, I'm sure, will get that ironed out. Comets huddle up. They have had some positive plays, but unfortunately, penalties and some negative plays have set them back. They come out with 3 wide. E.J. Taylor in the backfield. Charlie Bubonics in shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Sets the pass out to Joel Capasso, who gets around a block by Brian McQuaid. Picks up good yardage for 14 yards.
Knocked out of bounds.
Not sure if that's an RPO, a run pass option or not, and if they're reading that, but that fake keeps the defense at bay, and then you get Capasso the football, the speedster. Here's E.J. Taylor trying right end, showing some speed and power, hanging onto the football, Won't go down.
Taylor, the ball carrier.
Kept his legs moving.
He's finally knocked out
Picks
of
up
bounds by
big
number 4,
yardage.
Aiden Murray, number 24. Brian Patterson. First and 10.
This
for
is
the
going to
Comets.
be
Ball placed at the Shaker
46-yard line, his original line of scrimmage. Watch him keep his legs moving right through that DB. After initial contact, he picks up about 7 more. There's Taylor at round left end. Another first down.
Knocked down by Brian Mitchell.
And the Red Raiders want a timeout.
First and 10
Good
for the
defensive
Comets,
timeout there
13-yard line.
for Shaker
Timeout,
Heights to try to
Shaker.
stop some momentum. The Comets are moving the football behind the explosive running of number 35, E.J. Taylor. And this Red Raider defense has been playing a lot better this week than they played last week. They gave up 51 to Canton Glen Oak. Here's Taylor again, watch. Contact there, and he runs for another 7. They're trying to get the ball out. They did, but after he got out of bounds. Great turnout tonight at Stewart Field. There was lots of tailgating going on in the parking lot, lots of food trucks, lots of spirit being displayed here tonight on the Solon side of the field in what is the home opener. Beautiful night for football, about 75 degrees, nice breeze blowing. And the Comets are set up. First and 10 inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. They've got 2 tight ends in the game in Cronenfeld and Kurzawa. Turn, handoff, E.J. Taylor, too much penetration. Once again, white shirts just blitzing the line of scrimmage. They're leaving their DBs alone out there. There were 2 DBs that were kind of left, 2 DBs left alone. And, you know, that's part of why you're going to see more play action. You're going to see Charlie fake that run and just dish it out to Capasso because the Red Raiders are sending the house. Bubonics drops back. Just a 3-man rush that time. Throws. Did he grab that? Yes, he did. Great catch there. I think that's number 14, Max Thompson. Oh, the official behind the play is overruling the official on the end line.
Third down, 14 for the Comets.
But we have the benefit of instant replay. Unfortunately, it's not going to overturn anything, but let's see if he caught it. That's a tough one, huh? He had one arm under there, but the head official, who was behind the quarterback, overruled the end line ref, who couldn't see it, likely because the receiver's back was to him. There's a throw, and there's a touchdown. Charlie Bubonics into double coverage. Harley Barman on the post. That's what we paid good money to see. Charlie with the nice delivery. That time his elbow's up, and he throws a strike between 2 defenders. Barman hangs on to it. 6 points. Now, this is a talented Solon receiver group. Barman played quarterback last week. You've got Brian McQuaid, who had a big day last week. Joel Capasso as well. And with Charlie throwing strikes, we should see big things from this pass offense this year. Comets in kick formation. Evan Funderburg lets it fly out of the hold from Charlie Bubonics. It is up, and it is. They call that no good. Yep, he missed it. So it'll remain 6-0 with 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in this, the second quarter of action from Stewart Field. It's Solon Education Television, and it's Solon Comet Football. So great redemption there by the Solon offense. A nice momentum shift in that. They scored what they thought was a touchdown and a great catch, and was overruled by the officials, but they went right back to the air, and this time Charlie Bubonics finds Harley Barman, the junior, and he makes the grab in traffic, in double coverage. I think we're going to see more short throws like that, out of play action, because the Red Raiders have come here tonight, and they are not sitting back. They're not going to sit back and try to tackle 10 yards down the field. They're going to try to force the issue, and there's a big difference between what this defense is showing this week and what they showed last week. Their coaches have done a good job of getting them to be more aggressive, and it's shown early. They are a bit limited on their pass offense, however, and that's showing here early as well.
Set to kick for the Comets, number 40, Aaron Teitelbaum.
Number 440, Aaron Teitelbaum, a junior, is going to kick this one off for Solon. End over end. It'll be taken inside the 5. That may be number 8, Trey McNutt. It is. He's going to try to get outside. You can see his speed, just a sophomore, a long strider, and he gets the football out to the 25-yard line of the Red Raiders, where they will take over. First and 10.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball is placed on their own 25-yard line.
Just under 6.5 minutes. There's number 16, Braden Springer. For the Comets, a sophomore, just 5'8", 145, forcing McNutt out of bounds. Whistle on the field. I think it's a false start.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense.
Called against the Red Raiders. That'll set him back. Flynn Block at quarterback, the senior. 2-by-2 formation. Cornell Beard, the sophomore, standing next to him. Comets in a 4-3 front. In the shotgun, Block takes it, drops it off. Fowler makes the grab, but isn't going to get real far. He gets 5 yards. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Number 11, Owen Grossman.
He's met immediately by Owen Grossman.
Came off the corner there.
Second down 10.
To hit Fowler. Fowler was lucky to hang on to that one, but good job. 3-by-1 formation for Block. Takes the snap, dishes it out, and it's intercepted. The pass is intercepted and brought in for a score. That's going to be number 22, Devad Bush. Senior Devad Bush. 5'10", 185, has already gotten accolades from the Solon coaching staff for how well he played last week. Watch him get through the block, read the play perfectly, step in front, make the catch. He sees nothing but blue ahead of him. Great play. And the Comets now look like they're going to go for 2 after having missed the extra point after their first score, try to make it a 14-point ball game. They're scrambling to get people on the field. They may need to use a timeout. Here's that play again. Bush taking it to the house. That's a memory he's always going to have. Glad he held on to the football through the goal line. Looked like he was going to lose it there for a second. So Charlie's under center. He brings Capasso at most. They're going to try a reverse. Taylor's going to throw it to Charlie for the 2 points.
Taylor's pass is complete to Bubonic. Point after is good.
It was Keon Porter, took the original flip, flipped it to Taylor. Taylor throws it to Charlie. You couldn't have drawn that play up any better. He made a perfect throw. The running back, E.J. Taylor, finds Charlie Boone for the 2-point conversion. And we've had a big momentum shift here with 5:49 remaining in the second quarter. The Solon Comets have gone ahead of the Shaker Heights Red Raiders 14-0. Well, this is what the fans came out to see tonight. Marching bands, cheerleaders, reverses, running backs throwing touchdown passes.
Saturday at 4 p.m. Also, all recording school events are available at SCTV,
Well, folks, I can't quite see the whole home side, being that I'm up in the press box here, but it's pretty full. Student section once again is full, and I see people all the way down to the goal line and back. Here's the boot. And it's muffed at the goal line. McNutt trying to get that speed to the outside. Just too many blue shirts. He's going to get tackled at the 13-yard line.
Kick is returned by McNutt. He's met by Shea Springer.
And that's where the Red Raiders, they're going to have their backs to the wall here. They've already experienced this momentum shift. Here's that kick again. McNutt trying to get a block there, pushes his own man into a defender, but just too many blue shirts converging after the muff. This could get worse for the Red Raiders, and quickly. They're already backed up and they're down 2 scores. This is a point where they may have to be happy with just booting it away and getting to a punt, because they could, a turnover, if they try to force the issue, they could find themselves looking at a 3-score game here rather quickly. That being said, they just called a timeout, try to gather themselves. But pivotal, at least as far as I'm concerned, pivotal moments in a high school football game are the few minutes going into half. When momentum can shift coming into half and then coming out of the halftime. If the Comets get up 3 scores here, Shakers are going to be hanging their heads walking into that locker room. If they can keep it within a 2-score game, and there tends to be a lot of emotional highs and lows in high school football. We are dealing with teenagers on both sides of the field. So the Red Raiders come out 3-by-1 formation. Flynn block. Hands off to Cornell Beard. He's got nothing. And he's going to get set back for a loss back to the 10-yard line. This is a point where the Comets may start to use some timeouts. There's an official timeout.
Beard, the ball carrier.
Once again,
Brought down by Brock Bowling and Anthony Onyoro.
number 8, Keon Porter, has to come out of the game.
3 on the play. Second
Not
down,
sure
13.
why. Red Raiders, 2-by-2 formation. And they can really play the run down here, because the Red Raiders do not want to throw the ball, especially down deep in their own territory. Now they shift over to a 3-by-1. Block takes the snap, looks over the middle, nice short throw, completes it to number 81, Damian Cunningham, a junior. Cunningham gets a nice gain. This is a safe throw, short, over the middle.
Third down.
Not putting too much pressure on your quarterback. Here's a 4-by-1 formation, and they ask Block to run with it, and he tries to get through the line, but nothing doing. It's going to bring up 4th and 4.
He's brought down by Donovan Jackson.
4:33, the clock is running.
4th down.
Just nothing doing there, lots of blue shirts. The Red Raiders are going to have to punt it. Now they've had 2 snaps that have gone high and almost completely over the head of their punter, Fowler. And the Comets have tried to return both punts. Let's see what they do here. If the snap is any better as well. It's a better snap. They tried to rush him. He gets it off. Capasso in traffic, catches it, and immediately is hit. And the Comets will have excellent field position inside the Red Raider 40, about the 39. And the playbook is wide open. Well, they're going to mark it at the 40. And you can see the Red Raiders are dragging a little bit. They're down 2 scores. And they really, for their sake, they need to keep this a 2-score game. If the Comets can get into the end zone here with 4 minutes to go in the quarter, momentum's really going to shift in this one. 2-by-1 formation, 1 H-back. Charlie Bubonics in the shotgun, turns, hands to Taylor. Taylor's going to try to bounce it. He does get outside. He's got room. He makes somebody miss, and he's brought down, but not until he gets a first down. He left a wake of bodies on that one. But it's first and 10. The clock is running. And like I said, the playbook is wide open. You can run it here. You can play action. You can drop back and throw the fly pattern. They've got a screen. E.J. Taylor, not much room, but he makes somebody miss, makes somebody else miss, gets outside, and he's going to take it to the house.
Screen pass is complete. Number 35.
Nice call there, offensive coordinator Jake Voigt. Red Raiders taking chances up front with the screen, let him come in. Taylor gets the ball in the open field. 1 miss, 2 good blocks out there. Another miss, a good block there. Joel Capasso makes that block in the open field on, I believe that was Trey McNutt, their starting safety 2-way player. Anytime you can get the ball to E.J. Taylor in space, it's a good idea. Here's number 6, Evan Funderburg, going to give it another shot. Lots of pressure, and he's hit. He had to be offside. They're saying he timed that perfectly. Coach Wisniewski is arguing with the official.
Kick was blocked and no good.
Because that defender came off the edge awful early. Do we have this one in the truck? It looked like he was a couple steps deep into the backfield. Now we're not going to see it with this one, but look at how he's right on top of it. And the only way you can run into the kicker there is if you got a piece of the football too. And glad to see Funderburg got up, but that just didn't look right. Let's see if we get another view of it. Now we can't see if he's offside, but we can see how quickly he was back there. No worries. Goodness gracious, he looked like Deion Sanders back there. Showtime.
In the kick for the Comets, number 40, Aaron Teitelbaum.
All right, well, let's do this again. We got a kickoff coming. It's number 40, Aaron Teitelbaum, who's going to boot it. And it may be Trey McNutt who returns it, or Kai James. It's going to be McNutt. McNutt inside the 5, looking to break it. Nothing doing there. He's tackled in the middle of the football field at the 26. We got a little extracurricular going on. Somebody blocking late. Let's hope everybody gets up from this. Bodies are unpiling. Yeah, we're good. Just a late block happening and somebody trying to shed that block, and referees jumped in right away. This has been a very well officiated game. Officials established themselves early. They're taking control of this one. It's a 6-man crew. You know, there's a shortage of officials in high school football, and so there's more college officials that are doing high school games. And these guys are showing some real professionalism out here tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we've we've got a crew of college guys. Handoff in the middle to Cornell Beard. The Red Raider offensive line right now is just kind of standing up.
Second down 10.
You know, in terms of line play, lower man usually wins. And that's a young, albeit that's a big offensive line. They're young. And when they get a little tired, they tend to stand up, and that's when they're going to get beat. And that's what happened there. Comets again in a 4-3 look. Block, turns, hands, Beard, hit immediately. Question is Coach Wisniewski going to try to do something here? He's got all 3 of his timeouts left. Just way too much penetration. Number 31. Coming off the edge there. Anthony Aniora. If I got that right, Anthony. But the Comets are letting this run. We're down to 2:15 in the quarter, and I don't know if you're Shaker, you got to find something here. They motion into a 2-by-2. Block, going to dump it to McNutt, who is going to be short of the first down. So they try to get the ball to their playmaker. Motion to him, and this is where the Comets are going to take that timeout and not let the Red Raiders run it down. Here's the short pass for Block. He puts it to the side only where his receiver can get it. And number 21, Brock Bowling, makes the tackle. So if you're a special teams coach and you've seen 2 high snaps, 1 good one, do you set the return or do you rush the kicker? You've got Joel Capasso with state caliber speed returning punts for you. I think the tendency is to have him return the ball, but the Red Raiders are coming out on 4th and 2, down 3 scores from their own 34-yard line, and they're going to go for it here on 4th. They're out in a 2-by-2 formation. Block, looking to throw, has some pressure, tries to scramble away, now throws, completes it, but is brought down short of the first down. Great job there by the Solon Comet defense. Again, Anthony Aniora with the pressure off the edge. Block did a nice job of completing that pass back to the middle of the field. But Fowler, let's see how much, he did cross that 35-yard line, but I got to believe he's short. Yeah, he did not reach the 36, and I believe that he had to get to there. And he is going to be about a football short. It'll be the Comets taking over, first down
Turnover on downs
at the Red Raiders 36.
At the Shaker 36-yard line.
The Red Raiders find themselves down 20-0, and the Comets are looking to pour more on before the half. Reading that Red Raider body language, they're hanging a little bit. This Comet offense with a lot of weapons. Brian McQuaid, I don't think has caught a pass here tonight, but he did last week, and he is an excellent fundamental receiver. Bubonics dishes it out to Capasso. He's brought down by number 2. Nice tackle in space there by Brian Mitchell. Called his name a few times. Gain of 6. Once again, when the Comets run that play action, they're pulling a couple of linemen, making it look like run. E.J. Taylor on the stretch. Reads the block by Capasso. Bounces it outside. Will not be brought down, but forced out of bounds by number 1, Kyle Waits. Not before a first down for the Comets. 1:17 remaining in the first half. Solon already up 20. And there you can see, when you blitz, Number 10, Stephen Henderson, 6'2", 220, coming from the right edge of the offense, and the offense ran left. You're taking that chance. And number 10 doesn't have a chance to make a tackle for you when you blitz him from the wrong side. E.J. Taylor cuts inside, shifting back and forth, has more than enough for the first down. The clock continues to run. 1:11 left in the first quarter, and right now the Comets are gashing this Red Raider defense.
Brought down by Massey, 1st and 10 for the Comets. Ball's placed at the 12-yard line.
Timeout will be called by the Comets.
Timeout.
Okay, Taylor was a little gassed. Good timeout there. Get your players some water, some air. You can sometimes go a little too fast for your own team. But they've got the Red Raiders back on their heels. They're looking to put them away. When you got somebody like E.J. Taylor running at you, he's 5'10", he's 205, built low to the ground. It can wear down a defense. If you're getting him one-on-one with defensive backs, and you don't have 5'10", 205 defensive backs, you've got 175, maybe 190, maybe. Your corners aren't even going to be that big. So you get him through that first level, and then you can see the damage that he does when he gets into the defensive backfield. And you know, another key for this Comet football team, as is the case every year, is avoiding injuries. And right now, with Charlie Bubonics back at the helm, they're healthy, and let's hope, knock on wood, that they can remain that way. Charlie Bubonics under center, turns, hands to Taylor. Backside pressure gets to him, not before he picks up 3. 2nd and 7. Clock continues to run. We're inside of 50 seconds.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down 8 for the Comets.
Comets in no hurry, want to let this clock run down. They're in a 2-by-1 receiver with an H-back. Taylor deep behind. Bubonics takes the shotgun snap. Fake. Looks to throw. Fires. Picked off and dropped. Too much pressure.
Bubonics pass incomplete.
That's where the blitz paid off for Shaker Heights. They're not sitting back. But that play action took a little bit too long. Charlie wound up throwing it in traffic, and Joel Capasso did the right thing and became the defender on that one. It looks like the defensive player is going to intercept it. The receiver needs to become the defender and strip him, and he did that. 2-by-2 formation. Lots of Red Raiders jumping around. Bubonics in the shotgun, drops back to pass. Fires, touchdown.
Bubonics pass is complete to Joel Capasso for a Solon touchdown.
The Red Raiders that time rushed 3, dropped 8, hoping to cover that end zone in a zone, and Charlie Bubonics diced it. Just threw a strike. Here it is again. Right there, the defender didn't even know the ball had been thrown. That comes from working with your receivers over the summer, knowing when they're going to make their break.
Number 6, Evan Funderburg.
Evan Funderburg to kick. It's up. This one is
Funderburg's kick is
good.
With 22 seconds.
That'll make our score. Solon 27, Shaker Heights nothing. 22 seconds left in the second quarter. This has been a hard-earned game. They didn't arrive at these 27 points easily. Shaker Heights came out, much to their credit, much to the credit of this young football team and the coaching staff on the Shaker Heights side. They came out aggressive here tonight, and they held the Comets in check into the second quarter. They are an extremely young football team. Just 2 seniors on offense and 2 seniors on defense, whereas the Comets are much more experienced. And that's what we're seeing here. that experience can pay off. You got to go through these growing pains if you're the Red Raiders. Everybody goes through it, except that some schools where they don't have to rebuild, they reload. You know what schools I'm talking about. Line drive, kick, muffed. Doesn't go into the end zone. McNutt just covers it, and he will cover it at the 5. 19 seconds to go in the quarter. Comets with 2 timeouts. I think with a 27-0 lead, I think both teams will be content to get into half here. I don't see the Comets using their timeouts to try to force another punt. And I see some umbrellas coming out. So it's beginning to sprinkle here at Stewart Field. Block hands. Cornell Beard gonna bounce it. He's got room, but he's brought down. First down. He got out to the 23, we'll call it. Line just collapses, and Beard runs to daylight. Two, 1, and that'll be the half. Our score going into half. Solon Comets 27, Shaker Heights Red Raiders 0. Stay tuned for the bands.
Good evening, Solon. You wanted the best, and now you've got the best. Presenting the 300-member strong 2022 Solon Marching Band. Led onto the field tonight by band president Connor Grimm. We kick off our show with a groovy tune from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Get on up out of your seats and get on down to Boogie Wonderland. To boogie down to the max, you have to have the right footwear. According to Casey and the Sunshine Band, it's a special pair of shoes that'll last until you just can't boogie anymore. So put on your flyest pair with the Starlets as they show off their boogie shoes. by the Silvers in 1975 and scorched to the top of the Billboard Hot 100. Although for a hot tune, it cooled down pretty quick and was out of the charts by the end of 1976. But the band is ready to bring it back because we're burning up with Boogie Fever. To cap off our show is an electric song from Cool and the Gang that always lights up the dance floor. But there's no giant turkeys in this jungle, only the band with their groovy dance moves. It's time to get up with the get down with Jungle Boogie. Earthquaking and groove-making Solon Marching Band. The Solon Marching Band is under the direction of Mark Mullen, with star-led advisor Kelly Colton, along with assistant directors Bob Luce, Jerry McDougall, Trent Siebert, and student teacher Emily Butts. We hope you enjoyed tonight's performance and have a great rest of your evening. Peace, love, and music.
Welcome back to Stewart Field at Solon High School. I am Chuck Chokina bringing you tonight's action here on Solon Education Television. We have a halftime score of Solon 27, Shaker Heights 0. Looking forward to the second half here to see if the Red Raiders can get back in this one. Perilously close with 3 more points. The Ohio High School Athletic Association rules state that there will be a running clock, the mercy rule, if you will. So if the Comets score first here in the second half, we're going to see that running clock until that deficit gets within 30 points. And that can seriously shorten a game. I think it's a great rule for high school athletics, the mercy rule at 30 points. It's going to be the Red Raiders who will receive the second half kickoff. They went into half, they battled through the first quarter scoreless, and then the Comets pulled away late in the second quarter, up 2 scores, and then just piled it on to get to 27. A key play was the Devad Bush interception right after the Comets scored their initial touchdown offensively. Devad Bush picked off a swing pass and ran it in for the score, and then Charlie Bubonics has been threading the needle. To tell you how good a night the Comets are having, they even ran, I guess you'd call it a double reverse pass, and E.J. Taylor threw the ball perfectly into the breadbasket of Charlie Bubonics for that 2-point conversion, and we stand here 27-0, Solon Comets ahead of the Red Raiders. They are kicking off to the south end zone. End over end, angled into the corner. It's Trey McNutt who bobbles the ball, trying to bring it out. Limited blocking. He's only going to get to the 15-yard line. Not a good situation here for the Red Raiders insofar as they have a very young football team. I mentioned at the outset, just 2 seniors as of last week, at least. Here's that play again. McNutt's just a sophomore. Well, that's not McNutt. That is Tayshawn Chesney, a junior. But they're not cut out to be a prolific offense. And they are a young, inexperienced football team. As I mentioned at the outset, 2 seniors offensively, at least when you look at who they started last week, and 2 seniors defensively. Young football team, inexperienced, not going to play well from behind. They're more of a run-first team. They do complete a pass here on first down. The ball gets out to, for a first down, out past the 26-yard line. Good throw and catch there for the Red Raiders. Flynn Block throwing that pass to Kai James. Shaker Heights looking at the sideline for the play. Got a 3-by-1 set. Block in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get tackled in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 1. Comet defense has stifled the Red Raider offense tonight.
Loss of 1 on a play, second down and 11.
3-by-1 this time formation with Cornell Beard in the backfield with Flynn Block. Red Raiders getting that late play call from the sideline. Here on second 11 and 11 from their own 25-yard line. Block going to throw the slant. Defended extremely well there by number 11, Owen Grossman.
Broken up by Owen Grossman.
3rd and 11.
3rd down, 11.
This is not a straight drop back, air it out sort of football team. It's much more play action. Try to mix up the run. They've been hard pressed to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker, number 8, Trey McNutt. But I don't see McNutt on the field. Block's trying to scramble. He may get the first down. He does. Gets all the way out past the 40-yard line, takes a hit. But that's definitely something the Red Raiders needed on 3rd and long. Flynn Block makes it happen with his legs and picks up a first down. Good scramble play.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders, balls at the 43.
Block again in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes, he's going to run it. Round right end. He's not going to get past the line of scrimmage, however. Too much penetration there by Solon. Block's trying to take matters into his own hands here and give his team a spark. But this Comet defense has been disciplined all night, staying in their running lanes, not over pursuing, getting lots of hats to the football, and it's really limited this Red Raider offense. Block turns, throws, incomplete, intended for number 1, Kyle Waits. Third down, 10 yards to go. Comets jump into what I believe to be a nickel defense. Jake Geert comes out. Darryl Brown comes in. Block in. Shotgun. Straight drop. Takes a hit. Throws into the flat. I don't know if Fowler caught that, but boy, he took a hit. No, he was separated from the football. A little slow to get up. He got popped. Comets know that Block is not going to throw the ball deep. There's a big hit there. Anthony Aniora is having a heck of a game rushing the passer. Joel Capasso deep. The tight end that just took that big hit, Jackson Fowler, is in punt formation. Comets are setting up a return. He popped that one up. Short and right. Going to get to be about a 10-yard punt. Nope, less. 6. So, foul ball, as it were, results in a 6-yard punt. Sets the Comets up 1st and 10 at their own 49. Let's see if Charlie Bubonics stays in the game for a series or two. With the score at 27. Yep, he's being trotted out there again. Came back from his injury a little quicker than originally planned. But I'm sure he was insisting to his coaches that he was healthy, competitor that he is. 2-by-1 formation. E.J. Taylor following his blocker. Going to give credit where credit is due. Number 79, Curtis Hale, 5'11", 350, senior. Pulled around the horn. There he is, 79. I'd follow him. And E.J. Taylor picked up 3. So 2nd and 7, it's a 2-by-1 formation with E.J. Taylor behind Charlie Bubonics. And the Red Raiders bring a blitz. And E.J. Taylor runs right into it. They brought linebackers off of both corners or off of both ends there. Took a chance on 2nd down. So 3rd and 9. Playbook still wide open for Solon. Bubonics in the gun. Waits for the late play call. Joel Capasso wants the football. As he looks at the coverage, he sees what he wants. Something over the middle, maybe. Well, they turn and hand to Taylor. Taylor bounces it. He's going to get close to the first. I think he's going to be a yard short. Decision time for Coach Wiz. No, they're going to stay on the field.
Taylor, ball carrier.
They're going to go right up to the line. They've got Shaker on their heels. E.J. Taylor going to try to run wide. Is he going to get there? Nope. He's short. Tried to run a stretch play, and he could not. There were too many white shirts there, and that's a big stop for Shaker.
Tackled by Diaz, short of the 1st down.
Penetration there by the corner, but number 3 is Aiden Diaz, a senior, 6'3", 230. And he was there to make the tackle. We have a Red Raider down and a timeout on the field for that injury. Well, Red Raiders trying to hang around. 7:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Showing their heart. You know, haven't commented much about the game last week that Solon had down in Hudson, but definitely a growing pain that they needed to go through. You learn about yourself when you get into these tight ball games. And last week, Hudson came out and running one offensive play every 8 seconds, had the Solon defense dragging, and scored 2 times within, I think, the first 4 to 6 minutes of that game. We're up 14-0. Well, the rest of the way, the Comets held them scoreless. And that was a tribute to the kids, the Solon Comet football team, and the coaching staff. Nobody hung their heads. Nobody gave up. They lost 14-13. They went for a 2-point conversion late in the fourth quarter when they scored to make it 14-13. Didn't get in by an inch, but it showed a lot of courage and heart and character last week. Flynn Block rolling to his left for Shaker. That's going to be a late hit. Oh, the official did not throw a flag. Wow.
Ball carrier knocked out of bounds by Brock Bowling.
Brock Bowling in hard pursuit. Couldn't quite let up. There you can see the home side, how packed it is here tonight, but I'm surprised. It looked like it was late to me and out of bounds, but the official's a little closer, and they didn't call it. 2nd and 9. Flynn Block going to roll to his right with pressure. Fires incomplete. Intended for number 9, Tayshawn Chesney. Good penetration there by Gert. Number 44, Jake Gert, a senior, 6'2", 210. And he can move. Good pass rusher. Flynn Block in, shotgun, 3rd and 9, fires, almost picked. Who is that? Keon Porter. Anticipated that throw and almost picked it and was disappointed that he didn't. So here's that throw again. Look at him reading it all the way. Jackson Fowler. Once again, number 11, on to punt, and the Red Raiders are missing somebody. And they've only got 10 on the field. They're going to run it with 10. Slow snap, pressure. Better boot. Going to result in a 25-yard punt. Pressure coming there. Darryl Brown, number 30, a senior. Almost took it off the foot of Jackson Fowler. So, if you're the Solon offensive coordinator, Jake Voigt, and you know that Shaker Heights is going to blitz, you got to think about when that might be and what you can do to counter that, to stay out of those negative plays. Because the negative plays have kind of, even though the score is 27-0, there have been some negative plays that Shaker's been able to pull off. E.J. Taylor tries to run inside. Nothing doing. We'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. And when the score gets like this, the edge can come off a little bit.
Taylor, he's brought down by.
And it's important to keep that edge. Keep your discipline, execute your blocks, snap them out. 2-by-2 formation, Bubonics to throw. Scrambling to his left. He's got room. He fires deep. Just a little bit behind Harley Barman. And there's an official timeout for an injury. Bubonics let it fly. One of these kids maybe twisted his ankle. So while they tend to the Shaker Heights Red Raider on the field, go back to what happened last week down at Hudson. I fully expected after the first few plays that Solon was going to get blown out. The way their defense was dragging and the way Hudson was just able to move up and down the field. But a couple of fake punts, one pivotal in the first half, called by Coach Wiz. E.J. Taylor turned into a first down, shifted momentum. They scored before the half. And then they played tough. The kids didn't give up. And that's when a team finds out about itself, when their backs are against the wall. And that cannot be taught in practice, and glad to see that the Shaker Heights Red Raider player is up under his own power and walking off the field. Comets are in 3rd and 10 at their own 32-yard line. See if the Red Raiders want to bring pressure. My guess is they're gonna. They got 6 guys up in the box, and here they come. Bubonics scrambles, gonna get sacked. You know, the thing about that Amoeba defense, they walk a couple guys up, and then 2 guys walk out, and 2 guys come from another place. So it's tough to pick up, especially for a high school offensive line. You watch the pros, they communicate on every play where the middle linebacker is and where they're going to run their protections. And, you know, they're able to pick up those late blitzes because they're professionals who've been doing it for so long. But high school offensive lines, it's tough when you don't know where people are coming from. Off the edge, up the middle. Here's Barman's punt. He kind of popped and knuckled that one up. The 2 receivers come to get it, and the Comets look like they have it. I think number 30, Darryl Brown, came up with it at midfield. They did. Both Red Raiders tried to field this punt. Nobody called it. And as a result, they lost the football, and the Comets get it back. Just like in baseball, somebody's got to call you off. Somebody's got to call it. Mine. And everybody else got to get out of the way. But it's a young football team, and those things happen. So, Comets take back over. 1st and 10 at the 50. Charlie still at the helm. He's got 2 blocking backs now. Well, he's got 2 tight ends in Cronenfeld and Kurzawa. And a timeout, Solon. They must have been the wrong formation. Well, you know, this is the time of year you got to coach the kids up. The independent games, this is where you do that. Comets have Stowe coming in here next week. Always a good football team. Very disciplined. Tough. That football program has reinvented itself, easy for me to say, within the last 10 years or so. Comets 1st and 10. 2 tights. Bubonics under center, turns, hands to E.J. Taylor, who ran into his quarterback but still picked up 8. Little power football there. So here's what we're going to do with your blitz. We're going to put a couple of tight ends up here, and doesn't matter where you come from, we're going to get them blocked. Once again, they're heavy on the right side with 2 wide receivers on that side and 2 tight ends over there. Now they're going to run that way. And EJ's going to dance, and he's going to get the first down. They pulled Curtis Hale around the corner. Here comes, watch, 79. Moving bodies.
1st and 10 for the Comets. The ball's placed at the Shaker 39-yard line.
So 1st and 10, they're staying with that though? Nope, now they got 3 wideouts. One tight end. Taylor in the backfield. Bubonics takes the snap. Stretch play. Trying to get wide. Not much doing. Barely back to the line of scrimmage. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. It's been an uneventful third quarter, aside from the botched punt return.
Second down 10 for the Comets.
Now Comets jump into 2-by-2, no tight end. Bubonics in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He looks, fires to the outside, completes it. I believe that's Max Thompson, number 14. The catch underneath. 3rd and 2.
Third down 2.
Good open field tackle there. Brian Patterson, number 24 for the Red Raiders. 3rd and 2 now in 4-down territory. You can take a shot here. Single high safety. Taylor in the middle. Keeps those legs churning. A whole pile of bodies. Hope everybody gets up. Yep. 1st and 10, Solon.
He's brought down by Diaz.
They run right to the line of scrimmage. Bubonics turns and hands again to Taylor. He's trying to bounce left. He's breaking tackles. He's running over defensive backs. Oh, he took a hit late, and he's not getting up.
Pulls his way all the way down to the 18-yard
He's down outside the boundary.
Waits.
Runs through that DB there. Oh, leg. Little awkward. He's trying to get up. Tough kid. Walking it off. Wouldn't be surprised if they rest him the rest of the night. You know, you're torn as a coach. Your team's up 27-0. You've got this incredible runner. They want to play. Your starters want to continue to play. They want to play 3 quarters. You want to play them 3 quarters before you clear the bench. And then something like this happens, and you question yourself, like, was it worth it? Injuries are part of the game. Good to see that EJ's up on his feet. He did land a little awkwardly, and he's going to get some attention here on the sideline. I think that's going to bring number 21, Brock Bowling, who's been playing a lot of linebacker tonight, senior. He broke a big run against Hudson last week, showed some explosion. 2-by-2 formation. Now with an H-back. There he is. There he is. You heard me say explosion, right?
Brock Bowling, the ball carrier.
Let's see that again.
Knocked down after a gain of 13.
They're running.
It'll be first
There it
ball
is.
for the Comets.
Watch him just
5-yard
bolt through
line.
here. That's what I saw last week. He's got some straight line speed. And Shaker calls a timeout here with 2:54 to go in the third. You know, Bowling is valuable on defense, whereas Taylor is valuable on offense, and you don't, if you've got 2 players like this, want to play them on both sides. Now, when you get to playoff time, you'll see more starters on special teams. You'll see, some of the bigger, stronger athletes taking some of those roles from other kids. And you might see players getting time on the other side of the ball in certain situations as you get later in the season. But here at the beginning, when you need everybody, and this is kind of the difficult part for public schools, they don't have the deepest rosters. And if there ever was a sport where you want bodies, this is it. You want as many talented, big, strong athletes that you can just roll out there at will. Comets come out in a power formation. It's a slot right with an I backfield. Bubonics under center, hands the bowling, dancing, and trying to roll his way into the end zone. Wow. Some athleticism there by Brock Bowling, because didn't look like there was a lot there, but he almost got in. They brought in number 50, Sean Richardson, a 5'9", 235-pound sophomore. 225 and counting. That's him, number 50, in the backfield. They're going to go unbalanced right. They bring an extra lineman out to the right. They turn and they try to run that way, and Bowling will get in the end zone.
Touchdown scored by number 21, Brock Bowling.
That's the power formation. You got to have that. Can't just run spread all the time. When you get into inside the 5, when you need first downs, here it is. Just power football.
To try the extra point, number 6, Evan Thunderberg.
So at 33-0, Evan Funderburg is on offside defense. I think it was the same. This is the guy trying to cheat again. It worked once. Yeah. This time they got him. All right, what are the odds he tries it again? I think even money. He's going to try to time that snap. There he is. Funderburg's kick is good.
The kick is good.
34.
With 2:12 remaining in the third quarter.
2-0. 2:12 to go. Third quarter. Comets taking care of business, getting back on the winning track. This will be a much-needed win going into their home game next week with Stowe. So the mercy rule will be in effect here until the score, the deficit, the differential, becomes less than 30. If it does, then they'll run the clock the way they always have. They'll stop it. But being that there's a 30-point differential here, the clock's going to run every play. It's just going to run, and it's the mercy rule. So it hasn't started yet, but once this ball is kicked and possession is taken, I don't even think they're going to wait. They're going to stop it for change of possession. They're just going to let it run. So there's a kick, and here's the return. He's got a little room. Not sure if that's McNutt. Number 8.
Kick is returned by Chesney.
Yeah, Tayshawn Chesney, number 9. And there's that clock starting to run. Normally that would be stopped on change of possession, but don't blink, because this quarter, not just the third, but the fourth, it's going to go by really fast. That's the point.
First and 10 for the Raiders. Ball's placed at their 28-yard line.
Snap, block, going to keep it. Not going to get far, falls into the hands of Gert.
Blocks the ball carrier. He's tackled by Jake Gert. Loss of one on the play.
The offensive line just kind of standing up. Not really moving their feet this late in the game. You're down 34 points. And you're tired, and it's tough to move your feet. Block, takes the snap. Pocket starting to collapse. He rolls right, throws, and he completed it for a first down to number 22, Kai James. That'll move the chains, but it won't stop the clock, despite the fact they got out of bounds. We're down to under 11, 10, 9. Block in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands to Cornell Beard, trying to run right. Brought down again. I think that's Gert. We got some extracurricular activity happening late down the field. Not sure who's getting upset. So we'll end the third quarter there. The score, Solon 34, Shaker Heights 0. We'll be right back. Back to action, fourth quarter beginning with the Comets ahead 34-0. Shaker Heights coming out with second, and we'll call it 5. Motioning into a 3-by-1. Flynn block, gonna try deep. Nobody's home.
Block pass is incomplete.
Chesney broke off the route. Block tried to throw it deep.
Intended for Chesney.
Zigged when he should have zagged. Third down, 5. Red Raiders. We have a running clock. Again, blocks in the shotgun. 3-by-1. Going to hand it to Beard. He's going to try the left end. He's not going to get there. Sean Richardson came in as a blocking back on the short yardage goal line situation. 5'9", 235 sophomore, number 50. Pursued that play. And the Red Raiders are going to try to go for it on fourth. Hand off to Beard. Going to try the left side. He's got the first down.
Beard's ball carrier.
Clock continues to run.
He's brought down by Brock Bowling.
Red Raiders would like to get on the board.
At the Comet 49-yard line.
Comets would like to continue to pitch a shutout. 2-by-2 for Flynn block. He's in the shotgun. Cornell Beard next to him takes the snap. Buying himself some time. Rolling to his right. Fires low. And he came up limping.
Block pass is incomplete. Intended for Chesney. Brings up second down 10.
Second and 10 for the Red Raiders, just over midfield. We're down to 9:42 and counting in this one, with the Solon Comets clearly in charge, 34-0 here on their home opener. Flynn block, gonna throw wide, caught! Number 81, Damian Cunningham. Got it away from Max Thompson. And picked up a big first. So the Red Raiders, with 9 minutes to go and counting, in a 2-by-2, block hands to Beard. He cuts back. They'll give him 3.
Spear the ball carrier. Curtin on tackle. Gain of 3, second down 7.
2 by 2. Block takes the snap. Running away from pressure. Going to roll right. Flag is down. Throws it to the official who catches it. Good grab. There's the holding call. The official did not catch and tuck. He just caught it. But look at that clock. Even on a penalty, it just winds down and down.
Holding, offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2. Is she out of bounds? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Tick, 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 tick. So 2 by 2. Block, wants to throw, wants to scramble, does both, incomplete. Third and a lot.
Pass is incomplete.
We'll call it 20.
Brings up a third down 20.
Under 7 minutes to play. Solon completely in control of this one, trying to keep that goose egg up there. Flynn block. Takes the snap. Is sacked. 52.
Sacked in the backfield by number 52, Donovan Jackson.
Donovan Jackson, a senior, but I'll tell you who else helped make that play.
Brings up a 4th down and 28.
Was Aniora, number 31. He kept his lane. He could have easily stepped inside, but he kept his outside leverage, and that kept the quarterback in the pocket. Good discipline there. They found a pass rusher in Aniora. 4th and 25. Block. Incomplete. And guess who laid a hit?
Ball is turned over on downs with the count first down.
31. Anthony Aniora. Surprised the clock stops even here, but it does. So change of possession. But here's the sack again. You could see Aniora keeping his outside pressure. That allowed 52 Jackson to create inside pressure, and now we have the second teamers in. Luke Cormuth is the QB. He turns and he hands. That's Darryl Brown. He's got yardage. The senior running back up. He's been playing a lot of defense here tonight, but on the offensive side, he's seeing some action.
Gain of 5 on the play, second down 5.
Good job of tucking it. Getting the ball in the outside arm. Cormuth brings him out. He's got a 3-by-1. Turns, hands to Brown. Brown running over people. Running hard. Get off me. Nice run there by Darryl Brown. It's a whiteout, folks. Cormuth, shotgun, turns, hands, trips. Turf monster. He had lots of running room too. He shaking his head. He'd have gotten 10 out of that. He knows it. That's just lack of reps. You know, pick your feet up. Cormuth, hands, Brown, trying to bounce, breaks a tackle, still on his feet. Make the most of your opportunities, young man. Look at this. He should be stopped there. No, get off me. Oh, darn, I want to see him get it again. 2:33 and counting. Cormuth now with Frank Aquila, the deep back. He's going to get it. He's going to try to bounce it. He's going to run over two guys. That's some good hard running there. I told you this quarter was going to fly, didn't I? 1:38 remaining. That's why they call it the mercy rule. 4th and 11. They're going to get a penalty here. This doesn't look right. They're going to call a timeout. All right, timeout. 4th and 12. And what are they going to do? They got to go for it. They can't pass because they're up 34-0, and otherwise they'll be deemed running it up. They can't run it up. Cormuth takes the snap, hands it to Aquila. He's running wide. Ooh, that could have been a horse collar. Watch the defender reach up. Right there. That's not legal. These are the Red Raider backups. Abdullah Ahmad is in at quarterback. Low snap, falls on it. Ahmad takes the snap. He's going to throw it. Dumps it out in the flat. Caught, bobbled, but held on to. That should do it. We're going to try to get one more. Officials are fumbling the ball. 10 seconds and counting. Let it run out. Let it run. That'll do it. So your final score from Stewart Field. Solon High School, Solon Comets 34, Shaker Heights Red Raiders 0. Comets will be at home next week to take on Stowe. This has been a production of Solon Education Television. Thank you all for watching. Tune in again next week.